morning. My name is Charles Wagner. I am the founder of Cremason.com. It is Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. And this is episode 19 in our testimony sharing series. There are many believers out there who are quite content that they don't need to share their testimony. They believe they are in fact good Christians. They go to church every week. Their worship in church is really heartfelt. They are involved in Sunday school. They are involved in small group. They listen to preachers preach on the radio during the week. They listen to Christian podcasts. They go to see popular Christian movies. They generally are a good person. So therefore, they feel that sharing their testimony is not a requirement for them because they do so much else that is correct. However, Psalm chapter 40, verse 9 and 10 has something to say that's quite contrary to this view. Let me read it from the NIV. I have proclaimed the good news of righteousness in the great assembly. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips, O Lord, you yourself know. I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great assembly. So let's break these two verses down a little bit. The great assembly, I believe, is referring to the church itself, but it certainly is a large group of people. We see the word great, so we know that the gathering of people is not small. It's a large group of people. So the writer is speaking about sharing something in front of a large group of people. What is he going to share? I have proclaimed the good news of righteousness. Well, of course, that would be the gospel of Jesus Christ. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips. I don't hold myself back from sharing the gospel. I do not give myself a reason not to share the gospel. I do not come up with excuses. I do not restrain my lips from sharing the gospel. I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. Well, how do we learn about God's faithfulness except for what he has done in our lives? We discover, well, I was in this situation and God was faithful. I was in that situation and God was faithful. I was in this other situation and God was faithful. So when we declare God's faithfulness, we are declaring what he has done in our lives. This is a testimony. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth. Loving kindness. How has God shown mercy to you? How has he shown compassion to you and kindness and generosity? That comes from your life experience. That comes from your testimony. And specifically, the writer says, I have not concealed it. I do not keep my mouth shut. I do not look for reasons not to share my testimony. I open up my mouth and I share God's faithfulness to me, what he has done for me, how he has been compassionate to me. When we refrain from sharing our testimony, our faith, it's not right. That we are to open up our mouths and our lips and declare what God has done for us. So I believe Psalm 40 verses 9 and 10 contradicts those who believe they are really good Christians and therefore they don't need to share their testimony. I think this verse makes very clear that we have no excuse. That if we stand before God one day and he says, well, why didn't you tell other people the things I did in your life? We're not going to come up with a reason that satisfies God, because he makes it very clear in the Word of God that we are to declare what the good things he has done for us to the great assembly. God bless.